With that, I'm going to be wrapping things up here. We'll be continuing the marathon shortly, but the next thing on our list is the Red Bull Daily Recap. Please join me in welcoming our interview crew.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Red Bull Daily Recap on this Wednesday evening. It's still kind of Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday enough. Hello, everyone. I'm Kung Fu Frukup, and I'm joined tonight by Ruby Hart and Jay Hobbs. Hello, you two.
Hi.
And we want to talk about some more things that have happened over the past day. If you've missed it, or maybe you watched it and you're excited to see some of it again. But we're going to go through a few of our clips that we thought were really cool to show off and chat about. So I just kind of want to get right into it. I know, Hobbs, you were really excited about Halo.
So Halo 3, I have heard, was just one of the greatest runs. I only got to see moments of it, but this one in particular, we're going to see 2 attempts at this trick because you get a good idea of just how difficult this kind of thing could be. I just love any trick where you start from 0 velocity whatsoever and then you go flying across the map. So let's look at the successful attempt here now. I don't know what is happening here, I'm going to be completely honest, but they go flying, crash into the wall, completely blow their shield, and then they just move on. So I love it.
You know what's so funny is because one of the clips that I was looking at is another launch, but in a very different game. So during the scary block, I was around for a lot of that. So I'm definitely going to be talking about the scary block tonight. We had some goosebumps, which is great. It's like your childhood favorite scary form of media. So in this is actually another type of launch. This is like a box jump. So you'll see a couple attempts here. You just kind of like wiggle. It was like this weird wiggle motion that you're not supposed to be able to get on the box. But once you are, suddenly it's like a hovercraft and you can just fly.
That's so cool.
And that's part of what helps you get like this run down to like 15 minutes. It skips such a huge section of the game, and then you have to fight Slappy at the end, and it's horrible, and I did not enjoy that. But it's okay because box jump really helped me through it.
Really reminds me of like prop flying in a lot of old sources.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
Yeah, that's a good point. And then Ruby,
well,
SIDX.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like all of us went for really crazy launches and things that completely skip stages. So this is one moment that I absolutely loved from the SIDX, or the Sonic Adventures DX run. So there's something that they could do, especially with Tails, where if you go off of a ledge of a building and slide off of it, it actually tricks the gravity. So instead of gravity moving on Tails up and down, it moves left and right. So you can just fly through whole stages that should take you forever, just going straight through every building possible. It's so cool to watch.
I love when background elements are they're just textures. They got no collision or anything. You just fly right through walls.
You just keep going.
You just go.
You just keep going. Well, speaking of doing things you're not supposed to do in the game, or that the game doesn't want you to do, I'm going to follow up with, another scary game, I admit, but we had Choo Choo Charles, which was like an indie fan favorite of like the scary game block last night, out of so many good games. But let's check out this clip. So we can see a moment where you're going to see going into this like train upgrade system, but if you do it with the right like inputs, you're also able to start moving. Now the train is supposed to stop when you get off, but when you do this, you start to actually collect text storage as well. So you can see the text overlapping here, and the train keeps moving. And you're supposed to be on that. But at the same time, at this point in the game, Charles, our big, scary, half train, half Giga Spider, is just kind of hanging out and doing nothing.
Just completely frozen.
It just stops its movement entirely. It's so funny. So it just hangs out there, and you can just go freely run around the map, and you don't even get chased.
Like, dude, we chill. We're good
we're just
now.
until the end where you have to like shoot it over and over with like a rocket launcher. It's pretty wild.
Well, the next one I want to talk about is going to be a little bit different. So with horror games are not often thought as games like that you should speed run or anything in the same way that like simulation games are and stuff like that.
Sure.
But also RPG speedruns are a very well-known thing, but they're very different. There's always a lot more that goes on with them. So Gauntlet, I don't know where this game lands in a genre, honestly. It's not really all that RPG, but regardless, this, first of all, the fastest moving sprites I've seen on an NES, to the point where the runners are actually running into problems, like navigating them. But they also do RNG manipulation by pressing a specific input as they exit that stage to know that this exit will be in the top left. Now that exit could have been in one of 8 different locations in a treasure room, and there's also just hundreds of, I think 800 or so different rooms that could happen throughout the run, and they're using pieces of RNG manipulation all over to take what should be a very, rogue kind of game, roguelike, very random kind of game, into this actually manageable thing.
Right,
which I think
exactly.
is really
So
neat.
cool. Yeah.
All right, Ruby, one more from you, right?
Oh, yeah,
Let's hear about it.
absolutely. So I love adorable games that have really interesting movement tech, and Little Gator Game is one that I got to talk about. Yeah, so, okay, in this speed run, there's an item that you get really early on, and if you go down ledges using this raft, essentially, you can actually build up momentum, and that lets you get on this whale. Then if you watch in the air, basically he's popping bubble gum, and that gives you a little bit of extra height, so he's able to move the gator much, much higher in the air. And this particular version of the game in speedrun mode actually allows all of the text to just auto skip. So that's what you're seeing right at the end of this clip, as it just flies through a whole scene in a second or two.
And I've seen this before, and it's so hard to make those jumps, and it's just making it look easy. Like,
Well, yeah, and it's like takes a lot more of your stamina too whenever you're doing that. So you have to time the pops of the bubble gum really precisely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it really seems like we've picked a lot of movement-based things to show off today. There's like a lot of amazing things. But you know, speaking of amazing things, let's go and check out the daily prize real quick.
ooh.
Don't worry, Foo. All of my daily prize choices here are perfectly stationary. I know I was only supposed to pick one, but I've got 4 things here because I could not decide at all. From Katzer's Creations, we have this absolutely lovely plush amigurumi waka hand-knitted, super cool. From our friend Marlo Dobe, we have this beautiful hand-drawn illustration of the waka from Paper Mario. And speaking of Paper Mario, from Cute Monster Props, we have this absolutely great little Paper Mario paper bench craft. It's so cool. And from Lady Galaga, this absolutely incredible Ocarina of Time water temple style painting. All 4 of them are amazing. I couldn't pick a favorite, but you know what? You don't have to because a $25
クイック2023の日本語話者向け公認ミラー配信です。この後のタイトルの、紹介と、そして解説者さんも来ていらっしゃいますのでご紹介させていただきますね。この後、任天堂64のマリオストーリー 2% ノーエースというタイトルになっております。解説の方、ハッシュドライスさんいらっしゃってます。ハッシュドライスさんお願いします。
はい、どうもこんにちは。ハッシュドライスです。こんにちは。聞こえてますでしょうか？
そうですね。聞こえます。皆さんも聞こえますか？ちょっとエモートお願いいたします。はい。よろしそうでしたら自己紹介お願いいたします。
はい、ハッシュドライスと申します。マリオストーリーに関してはちょっと正直5年前、3、4年前ぐらいに、やってたので、もっと多分詳しい方はもしかしたらチャット欄にいると思うので、詳しい方来てください。あれだったら、チャットでどんどん説明してください。ただこのゲーム解説いないの、僕、本当昼過ぎぐらいに解説を応募したんですけど、ちょっと解説いないのもったいないなと思うので、一応喋りに来ました。はい、よろしくお願いします。
知ってる人はどんどんコメントしてもらって、それを拾いながらという形で。
そうですね。もう本当、なんか、解説応募して、ちょっと一応見とこうと思って、この奏者さんの、動画見とったんですけど、
はい。
ルートが変わってる。
本当ですか？MX4 さんっていう方かな？
そうです。多分読み方そうで合ってると思うんですけど、
はい。
その当時には多分いらっしゃったのかな、ちょっとわかんないですけど、ルートが結構変わってて、でただそのルートで来るのか来ないのかっていうのもあるんですよね。このカテゴリー、説明になるんですけど、ノーエース、2% ノーエースっていうカテゴリーになるんですけど、
はい。